Hey guys, got a couple of records today that I wanted to do an unboxing of. These are new releases. Actually, one of them was available before as part of a box set, but they just recently released it as a standalone album. And that's the first one I'm going to talk about, which is Pink Floyd Momentary Lapse of Reason. This was remixed and remastered. And basically what I understand about the remix is that they took some more of Richard Wright's keyboard parts and kind of put them up in the mix or added them to some of the songs. And then also you feature more of Nick Mason's drumming than was on the original release. Originally, a lot of people said this was, well, not a lot of people said, but kind of the knock against this record was basically it's a David Gilmour solo album. There wasn't much in the way of contributions from Nick Mason and Rick Wright, just because the way the whole album came to be, it was mostly David Gilmour who spearheaded that project after Roger Waters left. And so with this remix, what they've done is they've added more Nick Mason drum parts and more Rick Wright keyboard parts to make it more of a band album than just David Gilmour and a bunch of studio musicians augmenting him. So that being said, they've got an outtake from Storm Thorgerson, Hypnosis, the album cover, I guess, photographs. This is an outtake from that, which I used at the front cover, which I think is very cool. Definitely have the hang glider more prominent than the person sitting on the bed. But I think that's a cool touch. But I really like the packaging on this. This is what the back cover looks like. It's got a very cool gatefold that looks pretty similar to the original album. Now it's on 2 discs because this is a half-speed master, so you play them at 45 RPM. So this is, they come in these very cool sleeves, which are, I don't know what you call the inside of them, but they're like the MoFi sleeves. So that is a very cool touch. That's upside down, but that's what that label looks like. And then the side A label. And then what I was not expecting and is very cool is there's actually a booklet that comes with the vinyl, and it's a pretty thick booklet. It's not, just a couple pages, but you've got photos and credits, and then there are pictures and song lyrics as well. And this is interesting because on the original artwork, you only had Nick Mason and David Gilmour featured. This photograph is expanded to include Rick Wright. But just very cool. I mean, I think it's value for the money, definitely. I don't see kind of extensive booklets like that too much. So it's definitely cool to have that. And then the second disc, or the second album, that is what the label looks like. So yeah, a very cool set. I've listened to the first side of it, and the differences are very subtle, but I think, the drumming in particular, it's got less of kind of like that 80s reverb sound to it. Definitely David Gilmour's vocals seem a little more up front in the mix, but I got to do a little more, spend a little more time with it to be able to give a more expanded kind of review of the album. But from what I've heard so far, it sounds pretty fantastic. And then the second album that I got today, which is just newly released the first time on vinyl, this is R.E.M. New Adventures in Hi-Fi. Been available on cassette and CD before, but not on vinyl. This is also a 2-disc set with a very cool gatefold there. It's 2 discs, but they play at 33 RPMs. Got a beautiful inner sleeve here, which is very cool. And then this is what the label themselves look like. Now, I have listened to a couple tracks off here. Sounds amazing, so much better than the CD that I had. It's definitely a remaster. Almost sounds a little bit like a remix because, I don't know, the sound just really sparkles on the vinyl. And there's the first track, How the West Was Won, and Where It Got Us. In particular, the piano, the bass is a lot deeper, but very cool. I loved this album for a long time. I'm glad that finally came out on vinyl. Finally got a vinyl pressing, but definitely going to be spinning this a lot in the coming days. But just so cool to have it finally on vinyl. There's no booklet or anything like that. But you just got the gatefold and then the track listing on the back. So anyway, there's some cool, interesting new releases that I picked up, and maybe in the future I'll do a little more detailed review of these records, but just wanted to share with you. Let me know if you've got either of these or if you've got them on order, or what you think of the albums in general. Momentary Lapse of Reason tends to fall very low on most Pink Floyd fans' ranking of the Pink Floyd albums. I don't hate the album. It's not one of my favorite. I don't know that it's even in my top 10, maybe, but I don't dislike it. I do enjoy it, and so I'm looking forward to hearing the embellishments that they've made to that. And for R.E.M., that record probably is in my top 5 R.E.M. albums. So anyway, hope you're doing great. Take care, and thanks for watching.